Okay, so you see this stuff, and they did their research, they found out what that particular virus did. It infected the upper part of the respiratory system, and it filled the lungs with what? Fluid that eventually killed you, formed pneumonia. And if you're taking 3 or 4 of these bulbs of garlic, you're drinking this stuff heavy, I don't care what's in your system, garlic will entirely get rid of it. Right. See, because we showed before, we're going to read the properties of garlic in just a moment. You know, we said that the leaves were for the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nation. Right. Then you begin to understand what this is, and then we're going to translate it to the spirit when it represents the words of truth. That's going to translate your consciousness for you to come out of this ignorance, profound stupidity these people are in. They don't have a clue to what's in. We have a total collapse of the financial system. Once the financial system, that means very few jobs. People have very few means of making a living, and they can't go out and buy the foods that they need for what? For survive. And what usually happens, and this is what usually happens, when people have little means of income, they eat very few fruits and vegetables. That's right. See, and what are the? I asked you one question. The question was, name me 2 companies on the New York Stock Exchange that are making astonishing profits. Now, they would be who?
McDonald's.
McDonald's or whatever. There you go. Cheap food and church merchandise. See, so we go past McDonald's sometime. I'm going for a coffee. I just place is packed, man. They people be there eating McDonald's. I said, man, this stuff.
Yeah.
See, but the drive-thru, see, everybody has a lack of money, so they cut back on food, and they go into Mickey D's and all these other places to eat these cheap foods. So what happens is you don't have the fruits, see, and vegetables that you need. See, meat ain't gonna get it. That protein ain't gonna get it. No. See, unless you have these in sufficient amount, because they supply the basic nutrients for the immune system operating. And if they don't have it, then your system is compromised. You know what? You somewhere in China, the next thing you know, you're in the morgue out there on the slab. See, that's how it works then. Because unless you have a lack of knowledge of these things that you need to bring about preventive medicine, that's one of the things that we begin to establish. I think. So this is the last Sunday of the month. As we go through May and June, we go into our health program in the physical body. You know, the most perfect machine known in the man in the universe is your physical body. This is more complex than some. See what I'm saying? The operation of this body of these trillions of cells. Remember, this thing is self-replicating. It's self what? It's self-reproducing. You don't do nothing but put food in it, man. It's self-healing. You don't do nothing for it. You don't give it no instruction about them cells or how to put the insulin. You don't do blood pressure, regulate the blood pressure, insulin, pancreas, how to secrete that stuff. The respiration rate, you don't do none of that stuff. Right. All you're interested in is how good this thing looks, what you can put on it, what you can wear, and what you can wear. That's it. That's all this thing is. You didn't make this thing. See what I'm saying? It was made in the image and likeness of God, but it does have an immune system. There's a lack of knowledge that you need now more than ever to protect yourself as we enter hell itself, because the 4th angel has been released. See, both Yahweh and the devil. See, a goddamn pestilence that they're putting on people. Okay, read on.
Don't take any vaccine.
Now, why should you take vaccination? Because they got all types of stuff in there. There's been a report out that they lied, but you didn't have, before they had this massive vaccination for children, you didn't have this high level of what? Autism.
Yeah.
And they lied and said that that's not the case. They never had this stuff. Back in the 50s and 60s, we didn't have nobody like that. You've had very few people that was autism. I mean, that was very small. It was almost unknown. But later on, as they began to have these people take these vaccinations, they had mercury in it and all types of things. These people begin to break out with all types of crazy stuff. See, okay, read on.
I am making a plea to everyone who reads this. Please, please, do not take any vaccine that is purported to prevent this flu. Remember 1976 and the so-called swine flu outbreak that was purported to be a coming pandemic? It only affected recruits at Fort Dix. Why? because I believe that the so-called swine flu virus infected the recruits due to the vaccinations they were given.
See, that's the first time you go to the surgery to check a haircut, you go to this line, they got these guns that shoot you. Just walking out, shooting in the arm. I got so sick when I was in the Navy that I didn't know what was going through me. I had fever and everything for about 2 or 3 days. But that was my body reacting to, we don't know what was in that stuff. Say, what they were, experimental drugs that was in this body. Now let me explain something. When they had the Black Plague, they had 2 versions of the Black Plague. The first plague killed all the what? The seniors. Because the seniors are usually the ones that have compromised what? Immune system. And the next version came and killed all the what? All the babies. See what I'm saying? So what you have is, listen, I was talking to a fellow some years ago. He said, well, they concoct the disease. They can kill off mankind. I said, that's a lie. They ain't made mankind. How you kill it all off? Because there's somebody somewhere will survive this because they have the immune system. And that famous movie, you go back and get you that you go get Stan. Stan was that movie about a virus that got loose. This one guy that had that virus, they couldn't understand why he wouldn't what? He was the guy that was one of the stars of the film. And they just couldn't understand. And what they have, even in Africa, they got prostitutes walking around that's got HIV, don't have none of the same. Exactly. They're blowing people's minds. And they ain't been near no Clinton nowhere. So what happens is that the body, I told you this body was made in the image of what? Yahweh. Somebody somewhere, Yahweh's got some specials in that body that the HIV don't have no what? Don't have no effects on it. And they sleep with me like McDonald's. They said, why you ain't dead? You should be dead.
They said they were 25 cents a custody. They were charging something like 25 cents a custody.
I ain't charging 25 cents a custody.
Never infected and used no condom.
And they can't figure that out.
And they're trying to study it now.
Anyway, they got them women that take a blood test from them and try to get that serum so they can figure out how to make the next version. Okay, so you can begin to see what we're talking about. This ain't no game. So if you want to go read the Stand, what's that woman that was in that? What's her name? Had the dream. Ruby D. All those people had to go to a special what? Place that was set up for the to escape what was coming. As a type of Goshen. Right. Okay, now continue on here about this virus, and these soldiers was falling. This was repeated with the Gulf War syndrome. They were giving vaccinations. Them soldiers were dropping dead from all types of stuff. Okay, and a lot of it was not biological.
They tried to blame it on it.
I tried to blame it on it, but it was a lot of it was due to the vaccination. Right. But again, even if it was the vaccination, the soldiers couldn't sue.
Yeah, right.
Okay, read.
Whether the government developed the swine flu of 1976 virus and infected the recruits as a means to test the public to see if people would comply with a call to take a vaccination against the swine flu, or the recruits became infected via contaminated vaccine they were given as part of the recruit regimen, that outbreak was as phony as they come. I was one of the people duped into taking the swine flu shot, and it made me so sick. I was sick in bed for 3 months after taking the vaccine. Do not take seasonal flu vaccine if you are told that it could help prevent this brand of new swine flu variant. It won't do a thing to prevent this flu. What it will do is serve up a new generic material to the swine flu virus that I have dubbed Spanish flu 2, the sequel.
Okay, that's all. You read the rest of your own. Okay, now let us read it. This book is called Left for Dead. It's by Dick Quinn. Dick Quinn was a guy that had one heart attack. He had a bypass that failed, and he began to take continually vast amounts of cayenne pepper, and it began to open up his arteries in that stage of his life. So this is what he said about the you're gonna read that about garlic. Remember, the trees are for the healing of the nations. Now we're going to tell you about the property of what garlic does. It is probably the most magnificent plant that Yahweh's made because it is so multifaceted. Okay, read.
Garlic is the ultimate medicinal food.
That's the ultimate. You can't get no better than that. That's perfection. How you improve on perfection?